Now, may we have our next contestant, please? Nice to have you with us. Just make yourself comfortable there, if you will.
All right.
And tell us your name and where you're from.
My name is Doris Baum, and I'm from New York.
I see. Now, Mrs. Baum's face panel, does it look at all familiar to you? Apparently not, I gather. Well, I think it should, in a way, because you've seen it many times. And with that little bit of confusion or hint, as the case may be, Mrs. Baum, will you whisper your secret to me, please? Panel, the clue to Mrs. Baum's secret concerns something she did, and we'll start the game this time with Bess Myerson.
Mrs. Baum, this thing that you did, was it in the area of entertainment?
No.
Were you in the newspapers as a result of doing this?
Yes, but that had nothing to do with the secret tonight.
You mean your being in the newspaper had nothing to do with your secret?
No, that is, I was an editor on the paper and it had nothing to do with it.
I see.
There might have been other situations under which she would have been in the paper. She might have been in the papers about this, too, but it won't help you much.
Did you do this alone?
No.
Was it an unusual thing for a woman to do?
No.
$20 down, 60 to go. Henry?
I'd like to go back for a second to the fact that you said we should know this lady's face. Do you, is your picture in the paper regularly?
This had nothing to do, I was, but that has nothing to do with this.
Well, would I know your face from the paper?
No, I don't think they would.
I was being a little facetious, Henry, and yet again, there is a sense in which I was speaking a fact.
All right. Ms. Baum, did you say you were an editor of the paper?
At one time, but that doesn't mean what I'm talking about, that you should know my face.
Might as well take my glasses off,
$40 down, Henry. Jane?
Well, Mrs. Baum, this thing that you did, could it possibly have brought you no fame?
I beg pardon?
The thing that you did,
yes.
Is it possible that it didn't bring you any fame? It's just something you did?
No, it did bring me fame.
Oh, it did bring you fame. Did it have anything to do with newspapers,
no.
per se? Does it have anything to do with a famous person?
Well, partly.
Well, not in the sense you mean, Jane.
No, but is there some other person involved in this thing that she did?
Oh, yes.
Well...
Yes and no.
Yes and no.
Yes and no.
Very good way to put it. I couldn't have put it better myself. $60 down. Bill?
These are I don't know about the secret, whether it's good or bad, but these are the best answers we've had for about a year.
Lots of yeses and nos.
Yes, it's laid right. Miss Baum, did you pose for something?
Yes.
Was it a photo?
No.
Was it a painting?
No.
Was it a statue?
No.
What else is it?
Yes, I posed for statues, but that isn't
But that has nothing to do with it.
Henry has his hand up. Yes.
There's only one thing left. Was it a coin?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, Abraham Lincoln. No. I'm willing to bet you a quarter,
On the
folks,
quarter.
that you really have seen Mrs. Baum before hundreds of times, because you are looking at the lady who in 1916 posed as Miss Liberty for the U.S. 25-cent piece.
The whole history of America is on that coin. That's why the composition is valuable.
She points out that the entire history of our country is somehow related on this coin. And had we the time tonight, I'm sure that would make a fascinating story in itself. The quarter, the design was created by sculptor Herman Atkins McNeil. Now, did Mr. McNeil suggest the pose that you
No,
here?
I suggested it myself, and he thought it was a good idea and copied it out.
How did he happen to approach you? Do you recall?
I had been the model for some other things.
It'd be funny if he said, "Hey, kid, you want to make a quarter?"
I ever knew I was only worth a quarter.
You were chosen as the model for so many statues, I understand, including very famous Diana of the Chase and the statue of Faith, Hope, and Charity in Washington, D.C. But aside from Miss Liberty, what was your favorite statue?
Well, the one that's here right in front of the hotel, the Fountain of Plenty.
It's one of the most beautiful and famous statues of all in New York. It's in front of the Plaza Hotel. And here is Mrs. Baum as Abundance, Diana of the Plenty. And incidentally, Mrs. Baum also played Eve in the motion picture Birth of a Nation. So she's had a fascinating life, and we thank her very much for sharing part of it with us tonight. Thank you so much. We'll meet our wild and woolly special guest for the evening in a minute after this message.